Hey everyone, Potato Prime is here.
This is a video series where I give you guides for different characters of Overwatch. Today we're starting with none other than the poster girl herself, Lena Oxton, also known as Tracer. Now in these guides, we'll have a look at the character's set of weapons and abilities, how are they best used, which characters counter you and whom do you counter, and lastly some small tips from me that might improve your play. On to weapons and abilities, Tracer dual wields two state-of-the-art pulse pistols. The two pistols dish out damage anywhere from 60 to 240 depending on the range. They also have a headshot multiplier of 2, which means you can do up to 480 damage in 1 second. Now of course that is a perfect scenario which rarely occurs. Her two abilities are Blink and Recall. Blink is a horizontal teleportation through space in the direction she is moving at. She can store up to 3 charges of Blink and it recharges every 3 seconds. Blink is Tracer's main way of moving around the battlefield quickly. There are a lot of uses for Blink, and each map has certain strategies for how to use Blink correctly for flanking, ambushing, or simply harassing the enemy team. Tracer can also use Blink to move across vertical gaps, such as blinking from one high area to another, bypassing a pit. Tracer's Blink enables her to be the fastest overall hero in Overwatch, faster than both Soldier 76's Sprint and Lucio's Speed Aura. Tracer can also reload her pulse pistols or fire them while blinking. The general combo that you can use is to blink to an enemy, fire at him, blink away while reloading and fire again. On to her second ability, Recall. When using Tracer's Recall, she will go back in time by 3 seconds, returning her to the state she was at 3 seconds ago. And this includes her health, ammo and position on the map. You can use Recall to escape out of deadly situations. For example, if you're in a fight that's not going your way, you can just choose Recall. You can also use it to flank a well-guarded area by blinking and doing some damage, and then use Recall to retreat back to safety. Recall can also be used in conjunction with Tracer's ultimate ability, the Pulse Bomb. The Pulse Bomb is a large bomb that adheres to any surface or misfortunate opponent it lands on. The bomb does 400 damage on contact, and it also has a splash damage radius. However, it's nothing to write home about, so most of the time you are better sticking the bomb to your enemy rather than throwing it at their feet. Tracer's Pulse Bomb is very deadly and it's pretty hard to avoid. She can throw the bomb to about 7 feet in front of her, and the bomb will explode in 2 seconds after release. If the bomb lands on a target, it attaches to it, and there isn't much the enemy can do to get rid of it. Now that we're done with her weapons and abilities, now on to the characters that Tracer can counter well. Tracer is a strong counter to Bastion and Torbjorn, basically the turret characters, as you can move to their position quickly, do some damage on recall or blink away, or get in, throw a pulse bomb and recall. Tracer is also a pretty hard counter for supports. Her ability to get virtually anywhere on the map comes in handy when hunting supports, especially Mercy and Zenyatta, as they are usually in the back lines or hiding behind walls or pillars, which makes them a hard target for other characters. Quickly moving targets such as Tracer are very annoying for Widowmaker and Hanzo, as Tracer is pretty hard to hit even in longer ranges, which makes her a pretty good counter for a sniper. But keep an eye open for Widowmaker's Venom Mines and be careful when fighting Hanzo in close quarter combat, as his scatter arrow can one-hit kill you. Lastly, Tracer is a good counter for tanks like Reinhardt. Since she moves so fast, there isn't much Reinhardt can do. Tracer is simply put Reinhardt to a nightmare, and this is due to her powerful Blink, Pulse Bomb and Recall combo. This combo leaves Reinhardt with just 100 HP, which makes him very easy for you or your teammates to finish off. Now that we've wrapped the characters that Tracer counter well, onto the characters that counter Tracer. Starting off with Mei, because she can discard Tracer's speed advantage over her and leave her very vulnerable with her low 150 HP. She can also one-hit kill her with her icicles if it was a headshot. Junkrat can also prey on Tracer with his traps, as they are pretty hard to spot, do 80 damage, which is more than half of Tracer's health, and they usually come with an unwelcome present from Junkrat in the form of a mine that he uses to finish you off. Tracer is very poor when it comes to vertical movement, which makes it hard for her to do damage to high-flying characters, which gives pharah a great advantage over Tracer. That, coupled with her rocket launcher that can take up to 80% of Tracer's health per direct contact hit, makes pharah a pretty hard counter for Tracer. Mccree is probably the hardest counter for Tracer, as he is very deadly in close quarter combats, that too against almost any other hero. His deadly combo of flashbang and found the hammer can put you down before you even realize what hit you. I personally try to avoid him, and if I have to deal with him, I try to approach him from behind. Well, now this is it for the guide. Next up are some tips I can give you in hope that you can become a better Tracer player. First of all is a simple yet very important thing, which is changing your reticle. You can do so from the options and under the control tab. Choosing the right reticle for you that suits you can improve your aim drastically. I'd recommend the short crosshairs reticle for Tracer, but I personally use the dot reticle. But of course you can and you should use whatever you're most comfortable with. Another thing is when using the pulse bomb, you can throw it to about 7 feet far off, but you can only do so by having your reticle at about 45 degrees above the horizon and jumping when throwing it. This will give the bomb a small forward boost, but I'd still advise you to go close and personal and throw the bomb directly on your target. Tracer is an offensive flank character, so that's exactly what you want to do. Flank the enemies as much as you can, have some shots on them, maybe take out a support or a sniper, and basically distract the enemy's defenses. When you do so, you'll get the enemy's attention. Some of them will fall back to deal with you, which opens the space for your team to move in on the enemy's distracted defenses, which will give them a great boost in attacking. So that's how you usually want to play her. Alright guys, this wraps it up for my Tracer guide. I hope it was useful, have a good one, and see you later.